So today was originally meant to be the March for Jesus rally in Belfast city centre. It was meant to be scheduled for this afternoon from 2 p.m. This is it here. I was given this leaflet at actually a couple of weeks ago now, at the Time to Rise gathering, and it was meant to start at the Custom House Square in the city centre, and then it finishes outside the City Hall. So that was meant to be today, but there was information and videos online that began to surface the last few days that it was cancelled, and I just knew of it yesterday after I was actually sent the post from, it must have been Instagram, it must have been from the actual church that was organising it, and it shows important announcement all in capitals, and it reads, after much prayer, consultation and careful consideration, March for Jesus Belfast, scheduled for Saturday the 7th of June, which was today, has been cancelled. This decision was not taken lightly due to the logistical and safety concerns with the size of the expected crowd and ongoing issues with permits. We could not move forward responsibly with the event. We know many of you have prayed, promoted and prepared faithfully for this day. Your passion for lifting the name of Jesus in Belfast has not gone unnoticed. Please join us in continuing to pray for unity, peace and revival in Northern Ireland. With deepest apologies, Pastor John, Joanna Adhern and the March for Jesus team. I did a bit of research on this organizer. So what I've got was, they are, looks like a family organized ministry, and they are in connection with other churches. I'm not too sure if they're Pentecostal or whatever, but that's besides the point. So I was actually, after watching the video of the guy whose name was Pastor John, and I actually watched it twice today because, well, first of all, whenever I actually was sent a screenshot of that post, I just sort of thought to myself immediately, like, pushback by other influences, because it just seems to be very vague when it says, due to the safety concerns with the size of the expected crowd. Obviously, the bigger the crowd, the better. And the nature of this scheduled gathering, I mean, like, it's not liberal, it's not, nothing like that gets too out of hand, like the nature of the Palestinians or any of the other liberalized rallies. You may think this would actually have the lowest concern to antagonize or anything. If anything, maybe when they see something Christian, there's going to be people just laugh off, but I mean, you're going to get that anyway. But yeah, so I watched a video twice of your Pastor John, man, and everyone's thinking it just sounds a little bit vague about the part where it's on the basis of the safety concerns. I mean, safety concerns of what? With the size of the expected crowd? I've saw bigger crowds many times if I happen to be in town, and it's all the ones that are liberalised, but they seem to go on ahead. And he said something about along the lines of not manifesting in the flesh, trying to make these splinter groups on social media about changing the name or changing the picture or something like that. It's very, very vague, and he's been advised not to go ahead with this. And no, it's not manifesting in the flesh. It's not. I don't think that those reasons about the WhatsApp groups or anything. It's not really. It's not. There's not much impact. Maybe there's been some sort of influence or whatever behind the scenes of pushing it back not to happen. I was prepared to go for it today, and there's many people that I know were going to be there too, and actually in fact come together. But this is just surfaced, and it's sort of making a lot of people wonder why, because it's very vague. I mean, he went on there to say, we're here to lift the name of Jesus and not to push it into people's face to change their minds about something, or have like an ideology or political viewpoints. It's nothing to do with that. Obviously the reasons for this event is anything but fruitful, and the fact that they're saying due to safety concerns of what? People are just wondering, safety concerns of what? I mean, I'm going to open up a news article. Let's just try Belfast newsletter. So I've read that. That was a social media post, and okay, this was posted on the 5th of June, so it was like Thursday there. March for Jesus, Belfast. Organisers cancel major Christian parade in Northern Ireland due to logistical and safety concerns again. The March for Jesus had been organised by All Nations Church. That's the name of the church. Maybe that family, that ministry family, is just they have one here. Had been approved by the Parades Commission. That's where I find out what's happening. Good website. For up to 10,000 participants and 10,000 spectators. The parade was due to begin at the Custom House Square and end at Donegal Square North. According to the March for Jesus website, it is an extravagant worship celebration for Jesus in full public view. That's what it was meant to be, which began in England in the 1980s. In 1989, it held marches in 45 cities across the British Isles, with more than 6,000 Catholics and Protestants marching in Belfast. There it is there, folks. Like, their motives is absolutely just fruitful, and it's to bring people together and to bring the communities together in spirit. Because one thing I'm going to mention here, and I've probably mentioned this a lot, that the social media, or that too, but the BBC, the mainstream media, has labelled, especially all the racket that's happened here in Northern Ireland for the last 40 years, to Catholics and Protestants. like putting the name of different Christian groups rather than saying, loyalists, nationalists, right? That really drags the name of Christ through the mud. The fact that they were going to do this and both sides of the community were wanting to come together, that's their motives are spot on. I mean, the focus on Christ is actually amazing, and we're like, that's meant to be the thing that should bring people together, despite differences in certain doctrines, certain traditions, Bible canon. That all has to be moved aside, because we're now at this time now, in this lifetime now, where Christianity is starting to become the minority, and all these other faiths are starting to spring up. And it's just meant to be a spectacle. The health and safety concerns of a lot of godly people come together. It's not like those big mega parades in London where it's all like Muslims or anything. I mean, like, I've saw a lot of stuff that's just crazy, but apparently they got approval from so a lot of planning needs to be put in place before anything can go ahead, like permits, permission from the Parades Commission, notice for the PSNI, and other sort of paperwork. All that seems to sound like it was okay, but I think something has hindered, some sort of opposition has hindered this from happening, because it just sounds a little bit sort of very vague. The health and safety, it's very, very vague. Just scrolling down here on this article from Newsletter. Another group called Healing the Land had been considering trying to rescue the event this Saturday, but posted on social media on Thursday morning that it had decided not to go ahead. A PSNI spokesman said they, quote, worked alongside partners including Belfast City Council and Department for Communities to support organisers with the safe delivery of their event. Any cancellation of this event was not a decision made by police. It is understood organisers had been asking to use the cobbled area outside the gates of Belfast City Hall. Invited to comment, a Belfast City Council spokesperson raised safety concerns. Someone from the City Council, again, they said, as with requests to use this space, we will engage with the event organisers to ensure that the appropriate event management plans are in place to deliver the proposed activities safely. The parade organisers were invited to comment. That looks like that's the end of that. Baffling. March for Palestine going ahead. All different liberal groups can go ahead. Why not this? Now hopefully they can actually get this rescheduled, and we may find more information about this, but yeah, if anyone wants to comment, just let me know what you think. All the best.